Wednesday to share insight from their world on Insider. Today's guest, all the way from Mexico, TV personality Christian is in the studio. Hello.
México, arriba. 안녕하세요.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That's the extent of my Spanish.
That's the limit of your Spanish.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay,
and
I
no
get
bueno,
it.
that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's pretty fine. Though.
That's all I can do. That's all I can do. Okay, so Christian, you're joining us in the studio. Please just say hello to our listeners.
Yeah, hello to all the Arirang Radio listeners. I'm Christian Burgos. I'm from Mexico, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Oh, I love your accent.
Oh, it's
I always hear you speaking in Korean, and your
Yeah.
Korean accent doesn't have as much of it as...
the Mexican feeling.
Yeah, but when you speak English, I love that accent. Okay, we're going to have a lot of fun today.
Yeah,
we already have a lot of our listeners dropping by with a lot of Spanish messages.
Nice.
So I think, Christian, towards the end of the interview, when we start getting some more Spanish messages, you're just going to be my co-host.
Okay.
You're going to read them, and then we're going to translate, and we're just going to have a lot of fun.
That sounds great.
And it's secretly an audition today. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding. Okay, so Christian, we're gonna kind of go back and talk a little bit about you while you're in Korea to kind of start off the interview for any of our listeners who don't know much about you. So first things, you're like an ambassador for everything in Korea. What, you have like 10 things that you're an ambassador for and more?
Yeah, like I've been doing like my work in Korea for around 3 years.
Only 2 years?
3 years.
Oh, 3
around
years.
3 years. I'm going 4 years now.
Okay.
And I have done like ambassador for the hanbok.
Okay.
You know, the traditional Korean clothes. And also one of the remarkable ambassador activities I have done is the Pyeongchang Olympic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had the opportunity to run with the torch.
Yes.
It was
amazing?
It was amazing. I cannot forget that time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm trying my best, to promote Mexico here in Korea and all the way back, like Korea in Mexico as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So trying to be like the median there, like the middle bridge between both cultures.
That's right.
So I'm kind of curious because I have a few friends that were actually on the program, and so I got a chance to see your very good looking face on too.
Yeah.
You're a judge for a tarot show.
Yeah. So there's a trot show, like 100 girls come to the show and they audition to become the Miss Trot, right? Like a Korean pageant program. And I had the opportunity to be like one of the judges,
Okay.
a Mexican guy.
Yeah.
On
a trot show.
Trot show, being the judge.
Being a judge.
Yeah. So the reason I was there is because they wanted to focus on the global market. So they needed a foreigner, but not just a foreigner who loves music, who knows about music, who knows about trot, who knows about Korean culture and everything. So I did the audition and
you auditioned for that? Okay.
Yeah.
You auditioned for that. Okay.
Yeah, I did the audition and I happened to be there, and the program had a lot of good response.
I'm loving the program.
Oh,
and
really?
I love watching each and every one of the performances. Also, your reaction to. You seem to be having a lot of fun on the program.
It is fun. Like watching Koreans like loving trot and doing some remixes or some kind of stuff. I was never expecting I was going to see that when I first came to Korea.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so
of course.
It's the experience, of course.
Okay, now not only that, you're also on like a new panel for like a news show too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like there's this new show of it's news show, and I happen to be one of the fixed members now.
Wow.
I think in the history of Korean television, there hasn't been like a foreigner in an open broadcasting system.
Exactly.
Giving the news.
Exactly.
To the Korean people.
Exactly.
So it's it's quite a weight in the shoulders. I have a lot of responsibilities by doing that, but I'm doing my best and I'm working a lot and studying a lot. And I really appreciate the opportunity, because it's not easy to get there, and also the Korean audience that is giving me the opportunity and trusting me to give them the news. They want. So it's
a great experience.
It's a great experience. Yeah,
most definitely. Okay, now let's kind of rewind the clock back. So you said you've been here about 3 years.
That's right.
So how Why? What? All those questions of all the way from Mexico. How did you think or, plan to make the move to Korea? What was that?
Okay, everything started because of television.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I was in Mexico and I happened to watch a show, a Korean show. It's called Seba Quiz. I don't know if you remember. It's a really old show.
Yeah.
It's not even like for young generations.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I happened to watch it by accident on internet and I was like, wow, this looks great. Because we don't have like this kind of entertainment shows in Mexico.
I feel that we don't really have these kind of shows anywhere, to have like a panel like that and to sit them down and to have like an open conversation on things. I feel Korea is very good with this.
That's true. And it looks really funny as well.
Exactly.
So I was kind of curious about what are they saying, what they mention. And if you look at the Korean shows, in the bottom part, they have some sort of subtitles that like keep appearing.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, maybe I can try to read that.
Okay.
So I started like learning by myself through the internet how to read Korean, how to write Korean. And that's how everything started.
Okay, so you're pretty much representing all of our listeners now from Arirang Radio around the world, because our listeners listen to Arirang Radio.
Yeah.
They want to learn more about the Korean culture. They want to read stuff. And so you pretty much are what we call in Korea a like successful fan.
Well, yeah.
Because you're able to come.
You could say that. Obviously, the process to get all the way to Korea was a little bit hard, because Mexico is really far away, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
how long is the flight?
Now we have a direct flight that travels around 14 hours.
Okay,
so that's fine. When I came here, there was no direct flight, so it took me like 18 or 19 hours, and I had to do like two transfers. One in United States, one in Japan.
Going up to the U.S., then, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's right. So I wanted to gather money to get to Korea, right? So I started working at a mine site at the north part of Mexico during a year with Koreans.
Wait, what? Really?
So my story is quite special,
No, and we're going to take plenty of time to talk about this today. So you were working at a mining spot.
Yeah, it was a copper mine site, I remember.
And you were working with Koreans.
Yeah, that's right.
To learn Korean.
Not to learn Korean, just to practice Korean. So this mine site was bought by a Korean company.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a lot of Koreans working there.
Okay.
They have to communicate with the Mexican people, right?
So they needed a translator.
That's right. That's why I went there. So I was learning Korean not long ago, and I saw this post on the internet that they're looking for a translator.
Okay.
So I applied, and they called me and they tell me, oh, we've been looking for a translator during 6 months. You should come. We will pay you everything. We'll pay you the flight ticket. We'll pay you everything. Just come.
Just come. We need somebody now.
And I was like, okay, I will go there. So I went there. There's nothing around. There's just the mine site. I didn't know it was the biggest mine site in Mexico.
Wow.
It happened to be a copper mine site. And I went there. I started like working with them. It took me like 4 months or something to actually learn all the process of the mining.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's easy to say, yeah, I'm going to go translate. But like, they have terminology and all of the, business aspect of it. It's a lot of different terminology there.
That's right. Stuff that I don't even know in Spanish. I have to tell it in Korean or English, So it took me like 4 months to learn everything. And after a year, I just went there and I was like, okay, I'm quitting. And they were like, why? Why were you quitting?
We need you.
We need you. I mean, you know everything about the mindset. And I was like, yeah, but my plan is to go to Korea after a year working here. So thanks for everything. I'm leaving.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
So I came here to Korea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I bet since it was such a hard process and a long process, I mean, the year before that, all of the stuff that goes into that, like the blood, sweat, tears that went into that year.
Yeah, that's right.
I bet you don't. I think you probably will never forget the first night here in Korea. Yeah. So what was it like? Did you land at Incheon International?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I landed in a different airport. So I just wanted to double check with you.
Wow.
So you landed in Incheon International.
Yes, that's right.
What was it like? So you're like, after all of that, you're here in Korea.
Well, I every time I remember, I get like, this emotion because I came here at night.
Okay. Ooh.
So I happened to see the landscape from the airplane. like Seoul at night, it looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It looks beautiful. So I was coming from Japan, I remember, from Japan, and I happened to see like, this is Seoul. Like the Seoul I saw just through pictures. I happened to see like with my bare eyes. And then we land. I come down the plane and it's snowing.
It was snowing.
It was snowing because it was December.
Okay.
It was snowing. It was snowing. And in Mexico, we don't have snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like all new for me, like Korea and snow and the cold. It was like, oh my goodness, because, I was so excited to see the snow that I just like leave my bags and I went outside and I like touched the snow, like feel it, like taste it a little bit. And then I felt it.
It's like, oh, it's cold.
It's so cold.
It's so cold.
I have a Mexican clothes on. They're not enough. So if you're coming from anywhere from Latin America, you should bring like an extra pair of clothes because they're not going to work here. The cold here is intense.
It is intense. And if you're not used to it, it is really intense.
Yeah,
it truly is. Okay, wow. Now, what was it like being on Abnormal Summit? Because I know that was a big program for everybody.
Right. Yeah, that's right. It was quite the experience, like I have to study a lot, things about Mexico that I wasn't aware of.
Well, it's like you live there and you feel that you know of them, but you don't know them enough to be able to explain it to somebody. So you kind of have to go back and do like a little bit more research.
That's right. You have to study a lot. Also, you're being a representative of your country, right? So that sometimes feels a little bit stressing.
Oh, of course.
Because they ask how your country is thinking,
Exactly.
But you're just as a person, and obviously not the whole country is gonna be thinking the same way. So that's why you have to study even more.
Exactly.
But it was amazing because I get to know like a lot of different nationality people and a lot of cultures, a lot of different ways to live, ways to think. So I think it opened my mind, and not just for me, probably for all the people who was watching the show. I think they probably felt the same.
Most definitely. I think, it is most definitely a great experience just to watch the different cultures, like you said, come together and talk about some really simple topics, even like Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Which was something that was a really interesting debate that you guys did too. So we're getting a lot of messages in from our YouTube live stream, also from our V Live as well.
Nice.
So if any of our listeners want to continue to send in more messages for us, we would really love to see those. Now, before we go into our song break, because this is actually a song that you chose, you were on Masked King.
Yeah. That's right.
And you chose a lot of old songs. I mean, like songs that most of our listeners probably don't even know.
That's right, yeah.
So how did this happen? Because you were talking about earlier about how you like fell in love with Korean culture and like music and stuff like that. So the songs that you take a preference to, are these because of the internet? Or are they because of like a friend's influence? Or
not really the internet. There's two main reasons.
Okay, two main reasons. I need to know this.
Yeah. So the first reason, I don't know if you know the Korean game is called Pump It Up. The dance machine. It happened to be really famous in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, we have a lot of those machines in Mexico.
Because they were big here, but then they like died down really fast.
That's right. Even now, still really popular in Mexico.
It's now just making a comeback in Korea.
Yeah.
You can now see them in the arcades.
That's right. So every time you play there's a lot of Korean songs. They're like, the old songs like 소태지 와도 나에게 모두 배 that's me.
And like Babasonic and stuff like that.
I remember I was really young. My older sister was playing the Pump It Up and she was playing Tashani 경고. Yeah. So I remember I memorized the lyrics. I don't know what they're saying. I was 정말 네게 몰랐니. So I was just singing it. Then when I came to Korea, I realized like I was singing Korean and stuff. So thanks to that game, I happened to know like a lot of old songs.
Older songs.
Yeah. And in case of Masked Singer, when I was working at a mine site, there was like these old 부장님, old 부장님s, they were telling me, oh, Christian, did you know 초독배? I was like, what?
What's this? What are you talking about?
Oh, let me play you some 초독배. So I happen to like those songs too. That's the reason.
Okay, so your experience and your step-by-step coming to Korea helped build your encyclopedia of K-pop knowledge in your brain. Okay. we're going to take a listen to one of his song requests. This is a little bit of an oldie, so let's not get too surprised by this. It's a great song, though. Kim Dong-yeol. Now, this makes sense. 사랑한다는 말. Saying I love you is a track we're going to listen to, and we'll see you guys back after this with Laura Christian in the studio. You're listening to K-Poppin here on Arirang Radio. I'm your host, Isak. We have our special guest today, which is our insider. Christian's in the studio. And a lot of our listeners thought that he was lip-syncing. No, he was singing. 여러분, 립싱크 아니었어요. 노래를 불렀답니다. He was singing today. I got a chance to hear him sing. Our producer was this close to putting the mic back up so we could hear him sing live. So we'll see. Maybe during the next few song breaks, he might sing for us. 모르는 겁니다. 이따가 또 부르기 시작하면 마이크 열 거예요. Okay, so TV personality Christian's in the studio. Now, I'm going to have a few yes or no questions for you.
Okay.
So answer yes or no. I'm going to let you explain these afterwards.
Okay.
So I think this is very similar than in Korea, too. From what I know, there is a saying in Mexico that if you cry, you're not a man.
Oh, yeah.
There's that. There's a saying like that.
Yeah.
So, friends in Mexico are not listening. I came to Korea, and honestly, I've cried a lot. Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one is, I might not know all the streets of Mexico, but I know all the streets of Korea. Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Super yes.
Super yes. When I go out of Korea and visit other countries, I tend to look for Korean food. Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
After eating something super spicy or a really hot soup, I will be as Korean as possible and say, 시원하다. Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, not yet. Now, you were known to help Park Seo-joon with his Spanish, but it's now to the point where you are starting to teach foreigners Korean. Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes. Last one is,
Okay.
there is a variety show TV personality that is not a foreigner that you think is your rival. Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
No.
Okay. So looking back, you've cried a lot since you've come to Korea. I hope that all of your friends are listening from Mexico. Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you cry the most?
Wow. Like there was when I came to Korea, I remember I quit the mine site. I got some money. I came here to Korea, and I originally was planning to stay just 6 months.
Oh, so you originally didn't plan to move here. It was just a temporary visit, kind of live it and then go back. Oh.
Yeah. So one of my majors is audiovisual processing, like editing, video recording. So I came here to Korea and studied 3D animation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that it was just 6 months of a class. So I came here with Mexican money, and Korean money.
It's pesos, right?
Yeah, it's peso, right? So if you change that to won, it becomes less.
Yeah, because peso is not that strong
It's
against the
not that
won.
strong. That's
yeah.
right.
Okay.
So I changed it, and I realized, I might just run out of money faster than I was expecting. I thought that was going to last 6 months, but I was thinking in pesos.
Okay.
I was not thinking in won. And I didn't know the cost of life here in Korea was that expensive.
I think that if you think about it, it's kind of living in either the heart of New York or the heart of LA.
Yeah.
If you live in Seoul is the heart of Korea. And so I feel if you live in the main city of that particular country or state, it does tend to be a little bit on the pricier side.
That's right. So after 3-4 months, I think, also 3D animation, you need a good computer. You need, and the cost of the course itself, it was quite high. So I was running out of money after 4 months of being here, and I have 2-3 months left. I have to survive, so I was not eating basically.
No!
Yeah, I mean that's quite a sad story. I lost a lot of weight back then.
Because you had to unfortunately skip meals.
Yeah, so I remember I get in detail. These convenience store hamburgers.
Yeah.
So I was 2,001 hamburger. I was eating one, and that was my meal for the day.
For the entire day.
Yeah, for the entire day. So I lost a lot of weight, and I remember I was calling my mom and dad, through Skype, right? And they're like watching me, and they're like, "I think you losing a lot of weight. Are you okay?" And I always told I'm okay.
Of course, because your parents are worried.
I don't want to get them worried. So, I remember like hanging up. I'm sorry. Don't cry. I usually don't cry in shows. Yeah. So I remember hanging up the phone, and I started thinking like, should I stay here? Maybe I'm pursuing a dream that is not meant to be mine. So like I got into this like mind confusion state. So I started crying. I remember I started crying.
Okay, so that was one of the big times.
Yeah.
So all of the friends back in Mexico, I hope that you heard that, so you can make him, and tease him about this till the end of time. So you can tease him about it. You cry when you went to Korea.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can always kind of make him laugh at
also
that.
for the people who want to come here, like it's not easy, right? So
it's not.
So they have. I wish they had that in mind as well.
Just remember, the peso is a lot weaker to the one than you expect, so you might want to double check that the next time you come.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much all the streets around Korea. Out of all of the areas, Gangnam, Hongdae, Itaewon, out of all those areas, which one do you feel that you know the best?
Probably Gangsogu. Because I live around there, so I know all the secret matchip. And all the secret places, hidden parks also.
Oh, hidden parks too.
Yeah.
No, that's a rare thing in Seoul to find a hidden park.
Yeah. So
okay, Gangsogu area.
Yeah. If I had a car, I might know like Olympic Dero and all that stuff, but I don't have a car.
So you know the immediate of where you live.
Yeah.
Okay, so you tend to go for. Now this is one thing I've noticed, because Mexican food naturally is on the spicier side.
That's
I
right,
feel that there's a lot of similar aspects to Mexican food with Korean food, with
that's
the spices and the acidity and all of that.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, the spiciness, I want to tell you about that. Like it's similar, but at the same time, it's quite different.
It is,
because the Mexican spiciness, you can feel it in your tongue.
Yeah.
And the Korean spiciness, you feel it more in your
throat. Yeah.
And also the Mexican spiciness is like you eat the food, and it goes like, like you feel the spiciness and then it goes down. But the Korean spiciness, you eat it, nothing's happening then.
It comes out.
And then you're on fire.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that'll be different aspects, but yeah.
Okay, so now you look for Korean food when you go overseas, though.
Yeah, like I went to Mexico.
Wait, you went back to Mexico? Oh, no.
I went to Mexico last year. Mexican food is delicious.
Oh, yeah, it's delicious.
I was eating a lot of Mexican food. But then I think my body got used to it. So I was doing exercise, and after doing exercise, like, I want some kimchi jjigae, I need some kimchi jjigae right now in my body.
In my body.
Now. Yeah, but in Mexico City, there's like one Korean town.
Okay.
But it's quite far away from my house, so I couldn't go there. So I was just like enduring. And when I came back to Korea, the first thing I ate was kimchi jjigae. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so he's Korean from the inside out. And after eating stuff like kimchi jjigae, he's not gotten to the point where it's like, 시원하다. You haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they say it's refreshing to eat something that is hot.
Yeah, to have saying that it's refreshing is a little weird.
The first time I heard that phrase actually was not in a restaurant or something. It was in a sauna, in a 찜질방. The ajo, she was like getting in this really, really hot water, and he was like, this is so refreshing. So 너무 시원해.
That is one thing I think a lot of people do not understand when they first come to Korea, because it does translate into that. It's refreshing, which is like, I don't get it. Yeah. So that could be one. Yeah, that's true.
The way they express.
Exactly. Okay, so you've been teaching your foreign friends Korean.
Yeah, sometimes here. So people from Mexico, people from Latin America comes, and one of the big troubles they have is they cannot understand how the Korean people tend to express themselves, right? So what I try to teach them is the Korean mind.
Ooh.
If they understand the Korean mind, it will be easier for them to get used to the language.
Okay.
Because when someone who comes from Mexico tries to do is is to translate the Mexican sayings into Korean. But that sometimes it just doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. Even the humor, yeah.
Oh yeah. Humor, I think, is a little bit harder to do.
I remember when I was working at the mine site, there was the bujang I went to talk with the Mexican people, right? So he asked me, the Korean people asked me to ask the Mexican people if they did cleaning.
Okay.
So I asked them, did you do cleaning? And he told me, the guy, there's some saying we did in Mexico, it's clean as it's clean like a princess butt.
Okay.
Yeah, we say that. It's like really clean. But if you translate that to Korean, they will be like, what are you what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I didn't translate that. And the Mexican guy was like, why the Korean guy is not laughing? And I was like, because that is not going to work.
It's not translatable.
It's not translatable. There's a lot of humor that is not translatable.
Okay. Yeah, it's not translatable. There's I think a lot of cynical humor that Spanish does have, that if you can find a similar phrase in Korean, it'll be fine. But I feel that 9 times out of 10, we won't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is take another quick song break.
Okay.
And it is another one of Christian's song requests. So he's going all the way back to Yunsang for our next song break. 조원선 is featured on the track with 넌 쉽게 말했지만 You Simply Told. We're going to take a listen to that. See you guys back after this with your questions. So it is hour 2 of K-Poppin. I'm your host, Isak. We've got Christian in the studio, and he's our insider for today. There's a message that came in Spanish.
Bring it on.
Please make sure that it is readable on air before you actually read it.
Okay. It is.
Okay, could you read it for us?
Okay. It's from Andy. Okay. Andy sent us. Qué orgullo. Tu historia me tiene sorprendida. Pero me gustó. Me ha hecho la noche escucharlos. Saludos desde Guadalajara.
Okay, wait, what? Do it again. I'm just kidding.
You want to hear it again?
Yeah. No. What did he say?
Okay, so I'm really proud. I'm really impressed by your story. I really liked it. It's a pleasure to listen, you guys. Regards from Guadalajara. That's the
area.
Yeah.
Guadalajara.
Yeah, it's the second most important city in Mexico. It's where all the beautiful girls are.
Guadalajara.
In Guadalajara. Yeah.
That's note for everybody who wants to go to Mexico. Go to Guadalajara for the hot girls. Okay, there's a lot of messages today. Yeah. I don't know where to start. Okay, first off.
Okay.
There was... Andy also asked another question earlier in English. So what are some of the similarities that you see between Korea and Mexico? The similarities between the two countries.
I think we both like to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know, like in Korea, you call it hung. I don't know, in English, you could express it like as energy. So we have tequila in Mexico. They have soju here. So the way we have fun is quite similar. We like to get it around together. We have to spend some time like talking and stuff. I think that's the most similar part.
Okay, the way we have fun.
The way we have fun. Yeah.
Okay, sounds great. So we've got with the ID YOSGUZM1 from the USA, and also Andy from Mexico is asking the same question. Tips for learning Korean.
Oh, tips for learning Korean. Okay, so every person is different. All right, we have to start by that. Every time you learn a new language, there's a new person out of you coming. It's like you are born again. So you don't need to try to be perfect from the very beginning. So you have to translate your personality.
Okay.
That's really important, you know?
Okay.
Because I have some friends in Mexico that they speak English, and when they speak Spanish, they're really fun. But when they speak English, they're like robots. You know, they have their personality is not in the language. Inside the language, right? So they have to think also about that. And one tip I will give them, it will be to watch Korean entertainment shows. Not the dramas, not the music, but entertainment shows. You know why? Because the dramas, they have a script, right? So everything is controlled. It's good to learn some grammar.
Okay.
But if you want to learn to talk, to express freely, you know, if you watch the entertainment Korean shows, they don't have a script. They just like throwing
and it's
words
more
away.
Conversational.
That's right.
Okay.
They overlap each other, so you learn to hear. That's what helped me.
Okay.
I even nowadays I watch a lot of entertainment shows to open my ears, and that's the tip I will give them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had an additional question. What's your favorite Korean word or phrase?
Oh, my favorite Korean word is dugun. Yeah. Dugun. It sounds beautiful. You know, like in Korean, do you have these words that repeat? I found it really lovely.
Oh.
Yeah. 찐득찐득. You know, like dugun means like the heartbeat, right?
Okay. So yeah, dugun pretty much means when you like fall in love with somebody and you get that fluttery feeling. That's what we say. Dugun. It's supposed to be the sound of your heart.
Yeah, that's
beating.
right. That's right.
Yeah. I just kind of love how he's kind of like my co-host. It's like it's Korean 101 with Mr. Christian. Okay. This is a really hard question.
Okay.
땡땡님 from Korea was asking, Christian, 요즘 행복한가요? Are you happy?
What kind of question
deep
is that?
Such a deep question. Are you happy these days?
Yes, I am happy.
Okay,
like
you're happy.
it's like I'm a really positive person, and I think that's one of the aspects of the Mexican people. We're really positive.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though a situation is going bad, we always think there's good coming, right? So we don't like fall to the ground. We always think positively, and we always think that there's better things
to come
coming in the future. So I'm fine. Even though I'm not fine, I want to say I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hannah was asking, out of Abnormal Summit, what was one of the funnest things there? Like anything that you might remember? It could be an episode, or it could be something that you did, something embarrassing that never got on the airs.
Well, I remember that the very first time I was on the show, they made me dance.
Oh, yeah.
Salsa.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm new. Like, you know, this TV thing is new for me. And they're like, okay, Christian, show us some salsa. So I'm, and I'm doing this, and everyone is loving it. And I'm like, while I was doing it, I was thinking, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do next? Like, I'm just keep dancing. What is gonna happen now? Like, it was so fun to
It was fun and embarrassing at the same time.
Yeah, if you see on television, there's like me just dancing, but in my head there was like 100 thoughts at the same time.
Going on at the same time.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, now this one's also another hard question. Toby
Okay.
from the USA was saying, what is one excellent thing about Korea and that it means a lot to you?
Okay, I think one of the best things from Korea is the fact that the city is quite secure.
Oh,
you know?
okay. The safety.
Yeah, the safety, yeah. The safety, I think, is the best thing. Yeah. And not just for me, probably for all the foreigners living here. They probably think the safety is one of the best things that could ever happen to us while living here.
True.
You know, because it shows us that there's a way to live that we weren't aware of.
Yeah.
You know? Like when we're living in a city where there's like crime or people like stealing stuff, you tend to limit yourself.
Exactly.
You know, there's this new phone. Should I buy it? No, maybe not, because I don't want to become a target.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't want to lose it. I don't want somebody to take it.
If it's Korea, you see the new phone and it's like, okay, I'm going to gather some money and buy it. And that's the end of the story.
That's the end of the
You know?
story.
So, yeah, it shows you a different way to live.
Okay, this one's a really fun question.
Okay.
From the ID Crazy Not Rich Asian from Korea. Christian, 여름에 이불 덮고 자나요? Do you use a blanket in the summertime? Do you or because Korea's heat is different than Mexico's.
That's right.
Mexico gets a lot hotter.
Yeah, it gets a lot hotter, but it's quite dry, though.
It's dry heat. It's dry heat, so it's bearable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Korea is so humid. It's so humid. So I usually, in summer, I just, I don't use...
You don't use a blanket.
anything at all.
TMI.
Okay, I want to be refreshed, you know. So I just not wear anything at all. I'm like, oh, 시원해.
Okay, that's when he
That's
says,
when I say
that's when he
시원해.
says it's
That's when you
refreshing.
should use 시원해. Yeah.
That's when you say refreshing. Okay, there's a little bit of TMI there, but that's okay. Now this one is another TMI topic for us.
Okay.
What is your favorite hairstyle for girls?
For girls.
For girls.
Wow.
For girls. So this kind of ties into ideal types. What is like an ideal type hairstyle for a girl that you would find attractive?
Well, I find most of the hairstyles quite attractive,
Okay.
but especially long hair. I think it fits really well on girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So long hair.
Long hair and probably straight with a little bit of this curling at the end, maybe just.
Oh, you're so Korean.
a little bit of curling in the end, yeah, maybe.
A little bit of the C curl at the bottom. Oh, he's so Korean. Yeah. He's truly a Korean now. Okay, Red from Canada saying, "What's your favorite Korean food?" This one's hard. So hard. So favorite hard. One. Like you can have this all day, every day.
Oh my God. I would say 뚝배기 불고기.
Oh wow, so bulgogi.
Yeah, like.
But it has to be in the
soup, like the soup presentation type of bulgogi. It's quite hot.
And then it has to be in the rock.
Yeah.
The stone bowl.
The stone bowl, and with all the vegetables and all the mushrooms, and it tastes quite like Mexican food though.
I think it does.
Yeah.
There is a lot of similarities.
It has this strong flavor Mexican people like. So even when my friends came here to Korea, I gave them 뚝배기 불고기. They loved it.
Oh yeah, I think overall, and I feel that bulgogi has become one of those dishes that foreigners probably tried at least once without knowing it.
Yeah,
like they might have gone somewhere and tried it.
That's true.
It's really similar to like a teriyaki bowl, but yeah. Okay. Now this next question is: are you now, after about 3 winters, Susie 1272 is asking from Korea, are you now adjusting to the cold of Korea? 이젠 한국의 겨울이 좀 적응이 됐나요?
You know, it's quite funny because I do.
Oh, you're getting used to it.
I'm getting used to it.
Wow.
You know, like I can like just be with like a shirt and a really thin jacket, and it's gonna be cold outside, and I'm gonna be fine.
Wow.
You know,
you are Korean now.
Yeah. You know what? You know why? I think that happened because sometimes I have to do recordings outside.
Oh, yeah.
And the writers tell me that they want like really thin
clothes.
Yeah. They don't like to be with the scarf and stuff.
Exactly, because you don't know when the show is going to go out. So especially like if it's towards spring, even though it's like -10, it might be going out on air when it's going to be like 20 degrees outside.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's right. So
poor you.
Yeah, I happened to done a lot of recordings with really thin clothes when it was really cold. So I think I just got used to it because of that.
Okay.
You know, like, yeah.
So the shows here in Korea just like trained you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a message. Oh, there's some more Spanish coming in.
Okay,
Can you see this?
Necesitamos un programa con Christian.
Oh, I love this. I love his voice. I can listen to him do this all day long. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so Miki Guerrero is saying, we need a program, we need a show with Christian. That's what she's saying.
So yeah, Miki, I think we just started a new season. I think I'm going to be locking up Christian. So he can't do any other programs. And none of the other producers here at Arirang Radio can have him on the show. So for those of our producers who are listening, dibs on him. Do not touch. He's ours.
Yeah, you would put my name here too.
Yeah, we're going to put your name there. You're ours. Okay, before we go, because we're almost actually out of time. We're actually a little over time, but Mary was asking, when I go to Mexico, what is the one thing I need to try? It's so hard.
Oh my God, there's so many. Oh, there's so many.
But like if you go to Mexico, like this one thing you will try and you will never regret it.
You can try to eat.
Okay.
Habanero.
Habanero.
Yes.
Okay. There's your tip. We are over time. We have to say goodbye. I don't want to do so. So, Christian, I'm going to kidnap you and bring you back into the studio for part 2 of Insider because we have to do this. But as we send him out of the studio, Kim Go-mo's track, which he requested, 서울의 달, The Moon of Seoul, is what we're going to be listening to. Thank you, Christian, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.